So the next coins we have are from India, and the reason why I got this coin is for this one. So at the top we have Bengali, Persian, and Gujarati, and it just has the denomination of 1 piece, or also a quarter anna. So here's a later 1 anna coin, so you need 4 of these, equivalent to 1 of this. Okay, so this one is in the names of Shah Alam's, and it just says in the 37th year of the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam's. So 37 is here, and this coin doesn't have a mintage. It's minted in Calcutta. It's about 6 grams, 23 millimeters of copper, and it's was minted in 1831 on a machine press. So obviously you can tell it wasn't minted like this. So this is a hammered coin from about 1.8 thousand years ago. Okay, so that one, yeah, I see these sell for about $10 to $20, but that's the only reason why I got this entire set, because I don't have it. Okay, then we have a pretty uncirculated, although it looks like it's, is that damaged or slightly clipped? I think that might be slightly clipped planchet, or it could be just a lamination. So this doesn't look circulated, from 1921, 1/12 an anna, and this design was minted from 1912 to 36 with the effigy of King George V. So that's him on there. And obviously it was stored up this way, so this one has a lot more toning, but it's pretty uncirculated. And you can get these in this grade. They don't seem to be too scarce. And with a mintage of 19.34 million, it should be one of the more sought after coins of this design, because quite a few of them are minted like 40, 50, 100 million, which makes it fairly common. Okay, so this one, yeah, but still only worth probably about $10, I would say. Okay, then we have 2 well circulated 1 anna coins. So 1941, so this is the early one, copper nickel. Then they issued brass coins during the Second World War to remove the nickel from the coinage. And this one, so these are only scallop shaped. Obviously you can see these circulate quite widely in all the states. So 1941, about 62 million, yeah, pretty common. There should be a dot, probably underneath date, but this one doesn't have it. And so it's Calcutta. The one with the dot is the Bombay. And looks like 1940, is that 42? No, 1943. So once again is Calcutta, Mumbai. You know, does this one have a dot? We don't know. It's just going to be too hard to tell. So it should either 352 million for Calcutta or 134 million. So obviously it doesn't matter which one. It's just a very common coin. Then we have the 2 annas, first issued in 1918. And this one's the copper nickel version, minted to 1940. Then once again they changed it to brass coin. In 1940 we don't have, looks like we have 2 designs. Okay, so to know which one it is, we have 2 varieties. We need to turn it over, look at the crown. So this is the more common variety with the 2 fleurs just ending at the top of the inner crown. But there's another fleur which ends at the top where the dots are, and that's the one you're looking for. But this coin, 37.6 million. The one where the fleurs end up top, there isn't a mintage figure, so I presume the mintage is included in this one with the smaller crown. So that one's not too bad. I like square coins, they're okay. And then we have these 2 nickel coins. So these were issued in 1946 to remove nickel from circulation. And probably, I would say, this is going to be a bit controversial, but the UK was probably siphoning off all the silver to send back to the UK in preparation for the independence of India. I wouldn't be surprised, it's just what the country's done back then. So we have a lion, obviously change the design from the earlier silver coins, and we have a star underneath. This had a mintage of 109.9 million, so a very common coin, which you shouldn't find it hard to get. And then we have the half rupee, so 1946-47, and they didn't issue any coins from 1948 to 50, unlike Pakistan. So this one, 1946, minted 47.5 million. But that doesn't seem to be enough coins to replace the silver coins in circulation. So I would say that, these were just supplemented for change. They weren't minted to remove all of the silver coins. So obviously to do that, they would have had to mint quite a lot of these coins, probably at least 500 to a billion of them, just to remove the silver ones. Because if you look at the mintages of 1942 to 45, in 1943 alone they minted about 90.4 million coins, so really they would have been in circulation up until the 50s, when India itself issued their own coins in the name of the Indian Republic, but even those were not enough to remove the silver coins, and decimalisation was really the last chance to remove silver from circulation, and that's basically what they did. So anyway, nice silver coins. These are all just base metal, but I like this one. Oh, and I forgot to say, this was issued by the Bengal under the Bengal presidency. And you're probably thinking, oh, that's just in around Bangladesh region. No, it included Assam, and it went up to include large parts, like it did include Punjab, a lot of Rajasthan, some of central India, the coast of Burma, all the way to looks like some places in Malaysia as well. So that's quite extensive. So it was just a name. Bengal doesn't really mean anything in itself. Yeah, so these were issued all the way from Punjab to Burma, which was included at the time in the Bengal presidency. So it's before the actual British government took over under the probably the East India Company, which during company rule, which was the precursor of British rule in India. Yeah, but quite a nice coin. And maybe if someone sends an offer, yeah, that would be great. Anyway, thank you very much. Have an awesome coin banknote collecting time, and take care.